guard leadership, but along with that, we have Milan Aqua that sits there. Nobody saw last year as he redshirted. Those are two really good guards that both can play the point, that both can play the off-guard spot. So he has an opportunity to get spelled by moving off the ball with that other great point guard in our program right now. I don't think Ike was somebody that had to play a lot of minutes because of the experience. Well, now Malachi has that same type of experience, and fully expect him to just to embrace that role of being the man, the guy, the leader of this team.
Did you challenge Robert Franks going into the offseason? What were some of the things you wanted him to come back and improve on and challenge him?
You know, Robert's been like a 2-year project. He's lost 50 pounds in 2 years. Even though I won't be telling you that, but he has, and his body looks tremendous right now. So we challenged him with just coming back a stronger player, and again, taking ownership of this team. He has to not necessarily do everything that Josh did, because Josh was a tremendous rebounder, inside-outside player, but Robert Franks is one of the best shooters in this conference. And he has to be able to put points on the board for us. So the challenge for him was just to come back and play with confidence, having that experience to go overseas and play in a program where there was no Josh, there was no Connor, and he had a chance to really grow up himself.
You guys still feel slighted being picked last in the conference, or are you kind of numb to it at this point?
I don't want to use the word numb to it, but that's difficult for people to see all the programs in this conference. I mean, I had 3 guys last year that redshirted that would have made all the difference in the world with our program last year. But we kept them on that bench, and I'm glad we did now, because it's going to give us even more depth with this team. I've got 4 guys coming into the program that nobody has seen that's going to really elevate this team as well, too. Quentin Henson is that big wing that we've never had. Physical, can score, he's skilled, out of Tyler, Texas at 6'5", 220, and then yet we pick up Carter Skaggs, another 6'5" big wing that's one of the best shooters on this team right now. We get him late, we have him for 3 years. So, you know, with the pieces we have in place, it's very difficult for everybody to understand where we're at, but at the same time, having built these programs before at St. Mary's and at Oregon, we're right on pace where I think we need to be, and it's time for us to make a push.
Do you expect Milan to start alongside Malachi?
We're probably too early into it to say who's going to start, but I certainly think when you look at Milan and Malachi and Quentin Henson, Carter Skaggs, Deontay Daniels, those are 5 really good guards, and those guards are going to be significant in what we do when we talk about having everybody in the program that you've recruited now. When we talk about implementing that style of play that I've been wanting to put in, and we're able to do that now. We had to slow tempo down considerably last year with a big guy like Connor on the floor, because we relied on him to score so much. Well, now we can speed tempo up, we can press, we can do some other things. Malachi and Milan give us the opportunity to have 2 great guards that at any point in time they could be the point guard or they could be the off guard. And you'll see also with the skill set that we have this year that even some of those other guys that I mentioned will be at the point guard spot as well.
During your time at Oregon, when you had a bunch of guys that could run up and down the floor, you had a 10-man rotation. Do you expect the rotation to maybe be that deep this season?
I certainly do, and I think that'll make a significant difference in our team too, to have that kind of depth and that kind of firepower.
Ernie, you've coached at a Nike flagship school like Oregon and now coaching at Washington State. What are some of the differences that makes in recruiting and kind of how you have to approach it?
Well, I think the biggest thing for Washington State is realizing where we're at. There's not a big recruiting base sitting over in Pullman, but there wasn't a big recruiting base sitting in Eugene either. The 2 schools are similar in those regards. The thing about Washington, though, I've always said this even at Oregon, that there is a Final Four team sitting in the Northwest. And the talent is sitting there in the Northwest. And all you got to do is look at the history of what's come out of Washington. The Nate Robinsons, the Jamal Crawfords, the Aaron Brooks, the Luke Ridnours. There's some talent coming out of that if one of these schools, Gonzaga, or UW, or Washington State, and Oregon State, if we get enough of the local talent, you're going to be successful. UW has proved that. Gonzaga has proved that in a sense as well, too. So I think it's very important that we understand we've got a base sitting over in Seattle, which is why I hired Ed Haskins to open up that avenue to get into Seattle and to pay those dividends of all that talent over there, because I think there's enough talent in state, not saying you have to live and die in state, but there's enough there for us to build our program. Deontay Daniels, Player of the Year. Malachi Flynn, Player of the Year. Roberto Gittins, committed to us, Player of the Year, had to go JC. So we feel like, again, that personnel that's in the state will get us where we need to get to. We're maybe taking a few pieces from here or there out of in LA or Midwest somewhere.
I guess to follow up on that, like, did the Nike ties, especially at Oregon, did that help you when you were recruiting out of state in the Chicago, Detroit area in particular back then?
I think any school in the country that's wearing Nike sneakers are helped, because kids coming out of high school love that swoosh and love to play in those shoes, and they're great shoes. And they're certainly one of the pioneer leaders. I wore the first Nike basketball shoe was worn by my team back in 1976, I believe it was, when they introduced that shoe, and where they've evolved to today is amazing to me. So I think any of us that are Nike schools have a great opportunity to come in there and say, we wear Nikes. That's a big deal.
How disheartening has it been to see everything that's happened with investigations, and especially the two programs here in the Pac-12 the past few weeks?
Yeah, that which has happened in college basketball has affected every coach in the country, because I think all of us take a lot of pride in what we're doing in this game and everything, and it's going to take all of us, I think, to build back that reputation, build back that integrity back into our game, and we are all well aware of that as well too. There's no place for it in college basketball. We understand it as well, and I think more importantly, coming out of all of this, it will give the NCAA an opportunity to maybe hit a reset button. And what I mean by that, this game has grown significantly when you look at the players, and we look at the grassroots, when you look at the AAU programs and all of those things. Yet I don't know how much we've grown internally, and it might be time for all of us, all of those people that are involved with college basketball, which is going to include your NBA, your players associations, your NCAA, your coaches, and sit down and ask, are we doing the right things? Is there something we need to do differently to continue to grow this game? Because it certainly is changing rather rapidly.
When you said it's a big deal to be a Nike school, that opens